Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. It is me, Adam Cousins. It is NWA season premiere show. And of course, that only means one thing. My illustrious NWA guest, co-host, and all-round special lady, Miss Fiona Lochran is back. Fiona, welcome
Hello.
back.
Oh, I feel like I've not seen you for ages, and it's only been what,
A
2
week.
weeks? A week? Just one?
There's only one. They only let
See,
us
feels like so much longer.
It did. It feels like forever, but it was only a week ago. Well, they'd done the highlight show last week of Samhain, but we were back this week with NWA Powerr's Time to Give Thanks. That was what the show was. That was what the show was called. We had a lot of matches on the show. Just going to quickly run through. There was obviously BFT versus Magic Inc. There was Kenzie Page as well. She was facing Taylor Rising. There was also Max the Impaler and Missy Kate, as well as the Southern Six. Boo Kerry was was on there. But straight away, the video package was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, the opening one, always good, always good. I really like the whole opening the show with this stuff. Now it gives you a little bit of backstory and a little bit of a glimpse of to what may be in the future.
Exactly. And this was all about Kenzie Page. It was about BFT, the champions. It was about their opponents as well. It was a really good start. And then, except new music.
I know, I liked it.
Yes, new music. I don't know who done it or who's the artist or anything like that, but new music starts Power now. It's really good. Nice rock version as well, wasn't it? So,
What is it? I'm just showing my ignorance here. Is it a Pumpkins tune? I don't know.
well, we can ask our guest later when we interview Joe Garley later on after we do this show. So we'll ask him if he knows what the song is for the Power. But it's a new song. Speaking of Joe, him and good old Danny Dills were at commentary for most of the show. They were joined a little bit later on by somebody else, but we'll get into that. They run down the card. Then it started off straight away. There was no entrances. There was nothing.
Yeah, straight into that first tag team match.
Which was the Southern Six and the Heat Seekers.
Still good to see the Heat Seekers back in an NWA ring. I love those boys.
It was good to
and
see.
Boo Kerry.
Boo Kerry. Yes, it was Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor, wasn't it? That was the two of the three of the Southern Six. Found out why today they're called the Southern Six. The other three is a silent three or something like that, or something along those lines. Someone said on Twitter. Apparently that's the case. Anyway, really good tag match, actually. I really like this.
I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
What I noticed about this, and more so than ever, the crisp execution of a lot of the moves. They had the Tilt the World Slam, I think. There was a Tilt the World Slam in this. But so much of these moves were hit so well. I mean, Kerry, we boo him as much as we want. He's a great.
He's phenomenal. I will boo him till the cows come home, but I will not pretend that he's not good. He's ridiculously talented, and he's still so young.
Yeah, what is he? 20s?
Oh, I've got no idea. But he's such a baby face though, isn't he? Legit, like
yeah, legit baby face, or playing a heel character, but he plays it very well. The cock, he's got the face of a heel though, hasn't he? That's
he does. And the thing is, he's in with the Heat Seekers, who have been around for a good while. They are former NWA Tag Team Champions, were they?
Yes.
No, they are, aren't they? Yeah. So these guys have been around. They've been wrestling. I don't know how long they've been wrestling. They've been wrestling a long time. So it was never going to be a disappointing match. It was always going to be well executed.
It certainly was. There's someone say someone that moves a crisp. The ending of it, the Heat Seekers went to the top to hit their, I suppose, go for a finish. Kerry rakes the eyes and then hits a high knee, and then the green whistle. I still love that name. It's not as good as the Gags Reflex, but it's up there.
Stop
it. Yeah, he's not on the show this week, unfortunately. So that's the only time I'm going to hit the word of Gags. But yeah, the green whistle, 1, 2, 3. So Southern Six pick up the win. Now, before they had the interview, I think I need to apply to be the new member of the Spectaculars.
You've not done the dance yet. You can't.
Yeah, well, I'm saving that for the video.
All right, okay.
When what's the audition? Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to.
I love this idea. I think that's brilliant with the Rolando and Rush and apply to be a new spectacular.
Yes, you can.
Um,
Free bow tie. I mean, come on.
somebody, Rush actually reposted. I can't say tweet because it's not called Twitter anymore. Somebody actually reposted a guy, and I wish I'd remembered his name, who actually posted an edition, and it was like why you needed him to be a spectacular, and it was so good. You need to go and check it out. Rush has reposted it as a video that someone sent in. Who's like, I want to be spectacular. He does wrestle. I think I could be wrong. I think potentially in the New York area.
Okay.
But a big lad. Oh, it's going to annoy me now. I'll need to find it. But yeah, worth a look. Well played, whoever you are, wrestler. Well played.
Re-X'd it is what it should be now, isn't it? Twitter is now X. Re-X'd.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. But yes, new member of a spectacular. Who's he going to be? We don't know. But yes, send your auditions to Rush and Rolando. I need to work on mine a little bit. I've still got to get that dance perfect before I
get that bow tie on.
Yeah, trying to get a bow tie as well. I do have ties, but none of them bow ties. So I need to work on that as well. But yeah, Fiona, maybe you could have a go.
I don't think I can cut it somehow.
You'd be pretty empowered, wouldn't you? That's what you'd
Yeah, I'd go with the girls if they'd let me. I might not be pretty enough for them though, so who knows?
Sure you would be. Now we come back, and they're the Southern Six. So we've good old Carl at the podium, and they say that they're the ticket sellers, that they're all talking about the return to Robarts, which we will get to in a couple of weeks. They're going to be there for a massive power titles galore on the line for those tapers.
Exciting. Get tickets if you're in the area. I think it's going to be a good show.
I think they sold out these power tapings as well, not the Robarts ones at the minute, but
this taping this weekend was sold out, so I think Robarts will be an absolute belter of a show.
Yes, or shows in that case, because they'd be sure they'd be doing more than one, I would have thought.
I have no idea.
No, I have another question for Joe. Keep writing them down. So yeah, they were saying that the ticket sellers, they'll be anybody basically, because when you're hot, and when you're not, I was going to walk away. Like they do.
That'd have been funny, you know. I love. This pains me to say. I love that. Like that's actually probably one of my little favorite kind of mottos, sayings, whatever catchphrases. And I don't know what it is, but there's something about 80's face every time when he walks away just cracks me up. I like it. It's kind of like a mic drop moment every time for me. So well played, boys. Boo Kerry.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well played, boys. Boo Kerry. We know Kerry listens as well. Talking to Kerry. Just a quick side note. Good luck to the Outrunners tomorrow. By the time this goes out, tonight. By the time it goes out, they've already competed on Dynamite. They seem to be on Dynamite more than they're on Power at the minute.
Yeah,
the Outrunners. But they're going to be on AEW television today. For those of you that do watch it. Well, the ratings, not a lot of people do, but we won't get into that right now. Anyway, moving on. The women's title, one of the women's titles.
Women's TV Championship. Yeah.
Max the Impaler versus Mr. Kate, 6:05 limit. And they was joined on commentary by our good friend Sal Ronaldo. I don't quite know what he was doing on commentary, but
Sal was there. James Mitchell was there.
Yeah, Sal was just giggling to himself on commentary.
Obviously still feeling the effects of that pay-per-view.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go. Anyway, a lot of the strikes early doors for Mr. Kate didn't have no effect.
She just didn't make a dent on Max, did she? Really, let's be honest. Again, I'll just say Max is an unmovable, unstoppable force.
And Kendi Page better look out because she's not far away now. Max.
No, Max, I think they've had how many title defenses have they had now? They've had quite a few now. So I think
close.
Yeah, they've had a few, so we'll see what happens.
They have, and this was no different. Max has had a few, and one again with a devastating clothesline. Max
took poor Missa Kate's head off her shoulders, or she would have done if it wasn't attached by her neck. Like I audibly made a sound when I saw that happened, or something along those lines. I was like, oh my god, that's got hurt so badly, man. for Missy Kate. There was no way that she was going to recover from that.
Not a chance. I think she ate a big roundhouse kick as well. I think roundhouse staggered Max. I think that's about as close as maybe Missy Kate got on that during there before she ate a clothesline that Bradshaw would be proud of. Put it that way.
Very much so.
Just give it that. Now, they do run down next week's matches already onto this part of the show. So we've got EC3 against Talos. Interesting. We have got junior heavyweight title Kobe Carino versus Jabari, who's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know Mo Jabari at all, so I'm looking forward to that one. That should be quite good. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. So I don't know much about Mo Jabari. I've seen him plastered on socials because obviously he's coming.
Yeah, me too.
So that'd be interesting. King Bees against Pretty Empowered for the tag team title. So King Bees are a recommendation of Jazz, and we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, yeah.
Yeah, and Bulletproof Troop versus Koa.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Again, that's something that they discuss later on in the show that we can come back to. But that should be a good match.
So a very stacked card next week, but we'll continue with this week. So May Valentine was at the back with the King Bees. Sorry, the Killer Bees are another tag team.
Danny B and Charity King. Yeah,
I've got it.
Again, two completely new faces. Not gonna lie, if they are recommended by Jazz and they're coming off the back of Jazz, then you know they are going to be good. I don't know if Jazz has trained them or whether they're from Dog Pound Dojo or whether she's just seen them around, or I don't know anything, but they looked the part last night and they very much put their hat in the ring for these tag team championships.
Certainly did, and they said that they've come to. They're Pretty Empowered can be pretty or beautiful, but they've come to dominate.
Yeah.
So we will see.
I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to seeing them in action. Definitely.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait for next week for their debut. Not sure they may take the titles next week, however, but I think we will see a good outing. But who knows? This is wrestling, and we all know that things can happen very quickly. So maybe the King Bees will find their sting. It's crickets go across.
I was like, what? I'm a bit slow tonight. I'm sorry.
All right, blame UK wrestler Kelly Six. He's been posting dad jokes on X, and I keep putting tumbleweeds and Mother of God from Ted Hastings on Line of Duty. Anyway, moving on quickly. EC3 was at the podium. Now, this is the interesting.
I am so excited for this.
I couldn't believe
unexpected.
It. Yeah, totally unexpected. So EC3's defending the title. We've obviously got Max Jabari next week. That's non-title, I think.
Non-title, yeah.
Non-title. So he's defending the title when NWA go to Robarts. And he has, they have chosen, or NWA, I seemingly has chosen the Dane event. Jax Dane. He was looking a bit suave, wasn't he?
He was looking mighty fine last night. I like this Jax Dane. I do like this Jax Dane. It was a very intense kind of, I don't want to say standoff because it wasn't a standoff, but it was quite an intense moment at the podium with Kyle and them on either side. I love the fact that Kyle's not intimidated by these two giants. Yeah. I think I would be very much kind of like, okay, there you go, just kind of melt away into the background. I'm super excited that Jax has got this shot. Potential two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. You never know.
Potentially, and it is going to be a history-making night at Robarts, so we would have to see. But they did mention on there that he keeps playing on this EC3. Done this with Latimer, with Camille, and he said to Jax, you are a successful businessman. You've got all this money, you're doing really well, but I've got one thing, which is
this is all I've got.
That's all I've got.
On his shoulder. Yeah.
So he's playing into that again. He did, as I done that successfully with Latimer. Maybe a bit of help in there from Cardona. Where's Cardona? What's going on with that?
I don't know. Whether he'll show up this season or not, it's an interesting. I don't know. I think maybe there might be some tomfoolery afoot at some point, maybe at Robarts or maybe not till Hard Times, whenever that is.
January,
I don't know. I think so. I don't know. They've not announced anything yet, which sucks because I'm waiting to buy flights.
Another question for Joe.
We just keep racking them up.
Just keep racking them up as we go along. As we move along to non-title tag team title match next. Blunt Force Trauma versus two heel teams. in this? I'm assuming.
Yeah, different. I suppose it depends. Are Blunt Force Trauma heels? Is it just
Def-
Aaron that's the heel? Like,
they're
I
heels.
don't know. It's yeah.
They're heels. They're both heels. I can't. What made me laugh during this, and it's made me laugh quite a bit actually during it, is no matter what happens in the ring, even if Magic Inc. are getting kicking, CJ is just like, hey!
I think she's brilliant. I think she's absolutely brilliant. And we've seen a little glimpse of what she can do.
Yes, we'll get into that.
I want to see her fight.
Well, funny you should say that. And we'll get into that in a minute. A lot of the Magic Jake was getting a kick in early on in this match before he eventually
gets a rough time, poor Jake.
He does get a bit of a rough. He did make a tag in the end anyway. The match went on for a bit long. It was quite a lengthy tag match actually. I think
it was, yeah.
Max's match was a bit quicker because it was a 6:05 limit anyway. But right near the end there was a bit of miscommunication, and then there was the loaded glove again.
Aaron.
I mean, this is the loaded glove again, and then they beat Magic Inc. However, CJ then comes in and low blows Aaron Stevens. Now he's complained to management. He wants a match with CJ. Does Aaron Stevens? So you may get your wish.
Yeah, I think she could take him.
You think she can beat him up?
Yeah, I think she could take him. I think she's a dark horse. We haven't seen enough of her.
We haven't. As long as Aaron doesn't wear his gloves.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Whatever's in that is having an effect, put it that way. But anyway, Blunt Force trying to pick up another win at this point. And then we already talked about this next week, Troop and Koa. We go to back. And our good mate, Chris Silvio Esquire, was there as well. Mm-hmm. He was, bigging up a Koa as well a little bit there.
Yeah, they were very complimentary of Koa and the fact that they'd chosen him because of what his beliefs and his standards were and what he thought wrestling should be. But Koa was very complimentary of Troop and his skills and his submission skills and his MMA skills. I'm looking forward to this. I quite like Koa, what I've seen of him so far. We've not seen lots, but I like Koa. Khaleesi was quite vocal as well in that whole section.
I think the words that they're gonna. I think it was along the lines of beat the effing shit out of him or something along those lines. Was
pretty much.
Khaleesi
She didn't hold back.
No, she was quite. I wouldn't say reserved on that one. She was quite frontal with what she believed would happen. So we'll see that next week. So that even makes it even better next week for having those two on the show. So we'll see what happens with that. Then we had Pretty Empowered, who have hired some security guards.
With their lovely Kenzie Page shirts. Quite like them. That might be on next on my hat list to purchase. Actually, I like it.
Danny, can you do us a deal on that?
I'm sure he can.
A few deals on that. They were basically just responded to the King Bees. I've got to get King Bees instead of Killer Bees. I keep thinking of Killer Bees.
That's something completely different.
Yeah, they were responding to the King Bees, and basically the whole part of this was why was the security guard there, and the people were asking if they were scared, and there was this big chant, and they were just mouthing off a lot to the crowders as well, and being.
And I love that. I love the fact that the crowd interaction was there, because that was one of the things you don't actually really see the crowd in this episode. Whereas before, traditionally, the crowd have been in the shots and everything. So the way they set the studio up for this season, you don't really get to see them. You can hear them and they're very vocal and you can pick up on a lot. So I really like the fact that Ella and Kylie were kind of having a bit of back and forth with the crowds. I thought that really made the promo good last night.
Yeah, it did. It sounded they were very good at what they do. Speaking of that, we now move to main event. Kenzie Page, Taylor Rising. I really like this. This was non-title, but Kenzie's got a bit of a mean streak now.
Love it.
She was really aggressive in this one. Really, more than normal. It was like I think maybe Taylor took her by surprise a little bit on this. And
Potentially, yeah. Because
it looked like she wasn't expecting half, because there was a few times during that match where Taylor was looking very comfortable and potentially could have got the upset victory at that point. And then Kenzie started to be a bit more ruthless. There was still a couple of near falls after. Then she does finally hit the Kenzie cutter for the victory. But yeah, Kenzie Page really had to up her game a little bit here on this one.
She did. Couple of little, I think, for me, there's a couple of bits in that were maybe a wee bit, I don't know if they were, like Taylor had a wee slip on the ropes and things like that.
Yeah.
There was a couple of wee incidents, but you're absolutely right. I think Taylor brought it. Taylor definitely brought it to Kenzie, but for me, there was no doubt that Kenzie was going to walk out of that victorious last night.
She
No
did,
doubt
and
at all.
when she then went for her again, Markova, who is Taylor Rising's partner, come on. Now Markova's had a lot of shots at Camille, didn't she? She had a few shots at Camille, was obviously unsuccessful with that. Does she go after Kenzie, or is that just a protecting of partner and they go on together again?
I really don't know. I think Markova's quite a hard one to read. She always kind of came across to me as quite out for herself. So seeing her with a tag team partner for me is just not. I'm not sure what that relationship's like. I'm not sure if they're close enough that she would be out there to protect her partner or not. I kind of feel like I think she probably will have a go at Kenzie at some point fairly soon. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure I trust Natalia Markova. Let's just say that.
Oh, there you go. A spoiler there for Fiona potentially. Maybe we don't trust Markova. Maybe she will go her own way. But she did come out, and that was the end of the first episode of Power. That was really good because they're really concentrating on the return to Robarts in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Whenever it is.
So they're really hyping the show up, which is great.
The 18th of November, I think, is the tape.
It is, yeah, a week on Saturday.
Yes, a week Saturday when they'll be at Robarts. We don't know how many episodes they're taping of Power. We imagine there'll be a few. I wouldn't think there'd be more. They would have to do more than one.
I believe they taped 5.
Oh, this just gone.
In Nashville, I believe they taped 5 now. It might be wrong. It might just have been 4. It may have been 6, but I think it was 5 that they taped in Nashville. So
okay.
I imagine they'll be taping a few more at Robarts.
And of course, like we said, it will be headlined by EC3 against Jax Dane. Kenzie Page will be defending the title. We don't know who. Oh, it's against Samantha Starr, isn't it? That she was defending her title.
Yes.
Number 1 contender Samantha Starr. Obviously, Maxie and Paler will be there. Blunt Force Trauma will be there to defend their titles. I would have thought against whoever.
Well, that's the thing. I think brand new season of Power. Quite a few new faces coming up as well.
Yes.
As we can see from what's coming up next week with Mo coming on board.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a season of new faces. So I think Robarts is potentially anything goes. We don't know who's going to be there.
We don't. Only when they keep getting announced do we know. There's going to be a new tag team coming soon as well. And forgive me, I can't remember their name, but they're going to be on the show soon. They were announced at the end of last season. They were going to be on this season at some point. I can't remember their names for the life of me, but I will.
There's been a few. There's been a few little places. I'll hold my hand up. I have not been keeping on top of it all, but yeah, I definitely think this season's going to be very heavy on newer faces.
Maybe newer faces and departures of others. We could potentially.
Who knows? I genuinely haven't gone digging too much, so I don't know who was at the tapings in Nashville.
From what I see on X, there was a picture of Camille body slamming somebody. So
okay, good. Always good.
I'll take that.
Never don't like to see that.
No, and I did see. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, EC3 was there because he's on Talos next week. But
yeah,
as you say, the first one always opens up the realms of possibilities. That's where we are. So before we go and before we leave, very briefly, because we're soon going to be having a chat with our good friend Joe. So for the first of 2 times, Fiona, what are you up to?
I'm off this weekend.
Oh, she's off.
I have a weekend off, but I've actually I figured it out at the weekend there. I have, where are we? What's today's date? The 8th of November. So between now and the 31st of December, I have 15 shows.
15?
Which is, I have 15 shows. I'm off this weekend. Next Friday, we've got Main Event Entertainment, which is a fairly new promotion up here in Scotland.
Hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. What was this show that you've got your poster, your face is on the poster?
So that's not till February next year.
Right.
But PBW, Premier British Wrestling, have put together an all-female show in February,
Good on.
which is going to be phenomenal. And they asked me for a promo shot for it, and I was like, I don't have any promo pictures. They're like, you must have something. And I found one that I'd got taken like last year before the purple. And they've got me in the corner, just a little me in the corner of the poster. So I'm really excited. We've got, oh my goodness, who's on that card? Molly Spartan, Angel Hayes, Harley Hudson.
Prior to Harley going to Impact.
Well, we'll see. She's on the poster for the moment anyway. Lizzie Evo, Rio. Oh my goodness, I'm just trying to think. Casey Owens, Katie Mills. Who am I missing? I'll be missing other folk, and I'm so sorry if you're listening and I haven't said your name, but there is a whole host of females on that poster. But yeah, I'm on a poster. I'm famous or something. No, I'm not really. But it's funny. It's really weird to see.
This is what the hitting the turnbuckle does to you.
So yeah, that's February. But yeah, going back to what I've got,
Yes.
I've got Main Event Entertainment next week. And then throughout November, we've got some Premier British Wrestling shows. And then moving it into this, and we've got an Inside the Ropes show,
Yes.
a Scotty Too Hottie in Glasgow. Then moving into December, I've got British Championship Wrestling No Blood No Sympathy, which is a double header. The 1st and 2nd of December, the 8th and 9th of December, a double header with Pro Wrestling Scotland. We've got James Storm over for that, so that should be a good weekend. The 10th, 11th, 12th, I am touring the UK, well, touring 3 days with Papa Shango and The Godfather with Inside the Ropes. What else have I got? I've got another Premier British Wrestling show, and then we've got some Worldwide Wrestling League shows to round off the year. So yeah, busy. It's exciting time.
Somebody's busy. Well, this weekend we're obviously back at our home, our spiritual home of Shenley Road for Ignite to see.
That's exciting.
It is. It's a stack show. 14 tickets left, I believe.
Go buy them. It was good. I loved it in the summer. Go and see them.
And Fiona will be returning to Shenley.
I'll be back next summer.
For a buckle, but she will be there. Don't worry about that. So Smashing Michael defended his title against Chris Ridgway, Corey McRae, Gene Money. Breakout tournament final as well. That could be interesting because the winner of that gets a title shot anytime, any place, anywhere. And that's a big carrot to dangle in front of the 6 competitors now. I think Chris 5 or 6 that he's put in. One wild card, which was Danny Is It as well. I think there's Harrison Leon. There is Jackson Hart. There is Adonis Payne. There is, oh my God, I'm going to forget her name. Josh Spicer. That's it. Yeah, if you can spice up your life, if you really want to see Josh Spicer win that match. Anyway, after that, next week, I am interviewing the pride of East London, Shah Samuels.
I love Shah. I haven't seen him in so long. Oh, that'll be such a good chat.
He's coming
Exciting things happening with him as well, so that's good.
Yes. Next, and also, I have just got it confirmed. We're bringing back Ringside View next week with a very special referee, Mr. Brian Hebner. Will be coming on. Yes.
Ooh,
baby
nice.
Baby Hebner. That's going to be a late one for me and Andy, but Baby Hebner will be on this time next week, I believe. Well,
that's exciting.
But no, not this time next week. Later on next Thursday, they'll be on. Baby Hebner will be joining us. And after that, and if those of you that have seen X and Instagram and wherever else we've posted it over the last few hours, thanks to my lovely colleague to my left, or not to my left as in this room, but to my left on my screen, we announced today that we're going to be interviewing in a few weeks' time, myself, Fiona and Andy, Eric Bischoff. Yes, Mr. Bischoff will be coming on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast for a chat, all things wrestling. Yeah, that's probably the biggest guest that we've ever had on.
I'm excited to see him again.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him as well. Just again, a big thanks to Fiona for putting a good word, but saying a few things inside the ropes and surprising me. That was the big guest that I couldn't announce because we was getting updates. Long story short was we went to Inside the Ropes. Fiona mentioned to Mr. Bischoff that she had some friends coming down that was on a podcast. And he said, what podcast? And she said, it was All Things Wrestling. And he said, he'd do it. And you didn't even have to ask him.
I didn't ask. He offered.
He offered. So Bow down to Mr. Bischoff. Bow down to Fiona. Thank you for that. Following that, Andy and will there be at Fightmare next weekend. Andy will be at Fightmare, the Knights promotion over in Norwich in the showground. He'll be going to see that. Andy and Dave will be going to Shropshire Wrestling Alliance on the 25th of November. They've got a card there. I'm pretty sure that is Matt Raywald's going to be there against Charles Crowley. God, that might have been.
I love Crowley. Love Crowley.
Crowley's great. Well, hopefully we'll get him back at Ignite soon. And then the next day, myself and Andy will be at Progress Wrestling to go and watch their Vendetta show, which will be the return of Sanity, including Eric Young. Will be there.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we've also got there is a title match. Oh yes, Spike Trevay, who ended up in my lap in the last show, against against Kid Lycos 2, Mask versus title, which will be I know that is it'll be eventful. And after that, I think the following week, December 3rd, myself and my lovely Rachel will be attending the final progress, not the final progress show, not the final Revolution Pro show, the final 229 of the year show at 229 at Rev Pro Live in London. We went there last Sunday, absolutely breathtaking. I saw my match of the year in that show. That my match was RKJ versus Iri. I think his name was Iri. Yeah, the Japanese guy. Oh my god, I haven't seen a better match this year than that. Personally. But anyway, that is it. That is it for this show. We'll be back very soon. We're going to be interviewing Joe Garley very soon, but that will probably go out on the Friday. This will be going out today, literally, as today's Wednesday. I've got 50 odd minutes before we interview Joe, so I'm going to do it now so it gets out there. But for now, everybody, she has been the wonderful Fiona Locker, and I have been your host, Adam Cousins. And until very, very shortly, everyone, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.